Hey everybody, welcome to BombSquad. I'm Dan Stacy, and you are about to witness my nerdy family and I use silly voices and exploding dice to tell a good story. There it is. Ooh. As always, check out Adam from the Interplanar Crossroads as we are doing our themed monthly collaboration with him. We'll be getting into Neolithic November at this point. Apocalypse has passed on. As has most worlds that go through. I know, apocalypse. So check us out. Of course, if you're part of our Locals or Patreon community and in our private Discord, you can become a part of the live games we play once a month based on the discussions we have over on Interplanar Crossroads and his Around the Hearth program. So check that out, interplanarcrossroads.com. RPG MRE was delicious, David, by the way. We didn't mention it last time, but yeah.
Peanut butter banana pancakes.
Maple syrup shots.
Maple syrup
That as
shots.
well.
That's actually how David does it, because he dunks, so.
I dunk.
Oh, there we go.
Dunky.
We're
Those
gonna
chunky chunkies. No. I'm sorry, I don't.
No, it's good. I'm just
have
trying to
children.
find something to do. But it.
I'm afraid that he's going to say the chunkiest episode of the
Or the dunkiest
The
episode.
dunkiest.
I could take
I was
that.
leaning towards
Chunky
that.
dunkiest.
Right.
Well, only because you'll only get this reference if you see our behind the scenes from just what happened for us a few minutes ago. Let's dive into the most down with the shippiest episode of BombSquad. Wait, one more thing.
Ryan!
Brick!
You're in space.
And
He's taking a selfie in space.
we dive back in. And as always,
Oh, we're in space.
we pick up right where we left off. Bim bam.
So, Pim Pam, knowing now that everyone is safely off and there's no need to defend the elevator anymore, she and her imaginary iterations of herself just pop away from the elevator. She's gonna bounce back up to the bridge, cast sustenance, so she can just experience this, and all the different imaginative iterations are just gonna, in MC Escher style, just sort of walking on ceilings and walls and such, make their way over to windows and ports where they can stare out into the stars and where they can see the lit up monitors and the lights and maybe some of the science bays of the ship from all the different many angles. Pim Pam Prime takes her reversible jacket, flips it inside out to reveal a somewhat piratey, somewhat captainy version of a Jadar uniform with a tricorn hood, hat thing, a nice collar and some tails, and and of course like tall boots, and she's gonna stroll up to the cutout hole that Brick left through, sigh and throw a salute. She was a good ship. Could have sailed the stars. Someday, when all is right with the world, this too will come to pass in good time. And with that, she'll pop back into the module, safely heading back home, but with many imaginative iterations of her standing around the ship to watch its final moments. One standing on the bridge, one sitting up on top of it, arms folded, staring at the sunrise, and at least one just underneath where the necromancer's flail flipping them farewell.
But we're from online, so it's different. It's like
It's worse. It's so much worse. I'm offended. I'm not even native.
Before we see the glass shatter. That's for Alex. Pim Bam, would you roll me one more movement teleport to see?
Oh, don't miss.
Not that she's gonna make it. Don't miss.
Oh, don't take away my stakes like that.
Just keep floating.
She is going beyond the normal distance that she should be able to teleport, and sustaining sustenance, which she doesn't have superior concentration for, to pass through the engine room. So it's more just, is she going to take some fatigue or lethal damage, or can she go fast enough?
Bonus for teleport, or bonus for boon focus teleport.
Same as a challenge event roll. Any
Okay.
feats that apply, one advantage per tier in those feats.
Nice.
And then, do you have any fatigue left?
I do have 1 level of fatigue.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that was a nice green one. So yeah. What's the highest power level you can reach with teleport right now? Is it a 5 or a...
Let's see.
Well, distance is per attribute level, which I think is a 7 for you in movement. Are you a 7 or a 6? D8, so
I've got power level 5 at the moment. It will be 7 soon.
Okay, what's your attribute score? 6
Attribute score.
currently, or for movement? I'm just determining CR.
It's 6.
Okay, so the CR will be as if you're trying to reach a 6, so 22.
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
She's taking
spreading
time.
she's spreading herself too thin.
She's spreading herself too thin and really taking the time to enjoy it. She just needs to barely make it back. She knows she's
She's making it back for sure.
That's all.
Yeah.
She really wants to take the time to soak in the sights and the sounds.
I think because we've done it before, it's been lethal damage when you extend yourself.
Sure.
What'd you roll total? I'm going to determine how much you roll for lethal damage.
18.
18. Okay, so roll 1d4 in lethal damage. It does explode, but
Of course.
no.
Could still die. Could still die. We can see it. Ready? It's a 4.
No! Zechariah,
Roll it
you
again.
can't roll
it again.
fours
I can.
every
Totally
time.
can. I can. Watch me. It's a 1. Okay. So that's 5. So
Finally, he rolls a 4 every time I tell him. I'm like, D4, it'll be fine. Okay.
it's okay. Half my hit points are lethal damage. That's fine.
That's really cool, though. That's cool. Okay. I mean, only Zach and Dan will say that, but
Oh yeah.
beautiful. So there's this moment, I think, when people can see, I don't know if Brick will see it necessarily, because you were crawling in as this tree vine airlock seal that is then fire hardened, locks on. So what I had said while Brick was crawling in is that they had sealed it. You guys have the priority module attached to Nori's module now. And you guys are spinning in space at the moment. Nori's trying to reestablish balance.
Okay.
So that was one of the successes. Because of all the successes in the challenge event, you guys get to have that priority module rather than the Necros. So Pim Pam, you kind of come tumbling in. And I think part of the... I don't know, tell me if this is right. Part of it is that you get a moment where you actually see yourself saluting. And... obviously, no sound, but the whole ship is racked and shaking and spinning as you guys are almost like a dumbbell now with 2 modules on a hallway and you're spinning through space. Thankfully, Nori had the gravity off, so everyone's kind of like floating in there, but getting smashed and bucketed around as everyone is glad to see Pim Pam appears just before the explosion. As some of you can see, you can pick which version of Pim Pam you see, yeah, as pursuits your character, as the glass explodes and is no more. And as that happens, I think Brick, once the spaceship once Nori and Lenny get the spaceship stabilized now, as they're trying to work with this new system. Just Lauren, yes.
Is there a way to know for sure that the necromancers are dead?
Aurora could try to see. And I would probably actually roll for that. Let's do that in just a second.
Okay.
Aurora can do a detection to see if they still exist. That's a really good question.
It's fine.
You now have 2 more fatigue from battle trance in your deific item.
Yeah. I have 4 level now.
Okay, so you're at 4. 6 is death.
Right.
Just to get this idea. And this is kind of the same for Pim Pam, where half her HP and lethal damage, she's halfway to death. You know, just trying to think about that. So, Brick, as you're watching, once things get settled, you see it explode, and as things get settled, Ajax says, I suppose we're never getting back to the glass. None of us are.
Brick is going to...
And you probably see a Pim Pam.
Whatever window or viewport there is, Brick is just gonna float up, and as the visual gets smaller and smaller, as he is looking at what would have been like the end of his hope, as he's losing the last of what he had, he gets the image of the bridge, and he then remembers there's a piece that comes down that is the very, very last piece of the bridge. The last thing, the very last thing before he remembers waking up on when to Demeter's face, looking down at him in the crashed module. That last memory when he felt he had truly lost everything.
We got a Brick memory. Just resetting sound. "50 meters from the research module. Watch your corners. Clear left. So much frosting blood in my eyes. I can't see a damn thing.
Commander, we should stop and put pressure on your head wound.
No time. Can you just get my helmet working again?
No. Between the explosion in the bridge and Dr. Banoon's preceding attack, the helmet took most of the damage. It likely saved you from a severe skull fracture, but the fact that you haven't stopped bleeding yet is not a good sign. We should at least bandage it.
B ripped her way out of that escape pod, flung herself through a vacuum, and didn't even blink. With that gaping hole in the front of the bridge, I promise you, she is back on board the glass. Nothing we throw at her will stop her. We need to get out of here. Tarek, you still have the device? Still got it. Ajax, can you walk us through mounting it?
I will try, but our options may be limited. The device must be mounted and ignited near the external hull, otherwise the radiation may be lethal.
What if we make a new hole in the hull? Mount the device through it.
No, Commander, you cannot expose yourself to a vacuum currently. Your helmet will not seal.
I'm still vacuum ready. You go in first. Release the module from the glass. I'll stay in the airlock, leave it open, jump out onto the outside of the module. I can mount it via spacewalk.
I commend the offer, Lieutenant Commander, but the issue would be getting you back inside. The research module doesn't have an integrated airlock, and reattaching the cable requires approval from the bridge.
Negative. You'd be stranded in the void if we detached without you on board.
Yes, and who knows what would happen to you out there when the glass's warp bubble inevitably collapses.
Fast. I knew it. B knows where we're going. We don't have time. On my mark, sprint to the pod. We'll figure the rest out there. Ajax, is the research pod still functioning?
As far as I can tell. I no longer have access to the ship to determine health, but it should at least be capable of moving to the edge of the warp bubble.
Okay. Ready? Tarek, are you ready to move?
I'm right behind you, Commander.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
There it is.
Tarek, get in here now! What the
Module sealed.
What the hell are you doing? Open the door!
I can't do that, Commander.
Tarek! Open the door!
You can't. The mechanism is destroyed. I need you to trust me, brother.
Cable disconnected.
And I need you to obey orders! You hear me? Now get inside the module!
You need to get through. You need to make it.
Tarek, you have to come with me. We have to keep going.
This is how it has to be.
Airlock sealing.
No! We are continuing the mission. We are doing our duty.
This is my duty, brother.
You have to. You have to come with me.
Not this time.
Ajax! Ajax, get this door open now!
Commander, he destroyed the airlock sensor. We cannot unseal the door.
Unable to confirm seal.
No! No! You are coming with me! Open the fast-loving door!
It's too late, Commander.
Detaching module.
No! Ajax! Take us back! Take us back!
The device is mounted. None of us are getting back to the glass anymore. I'm so sorry, Commander. It was an honor to be your family.
You son of a... I promised her! I promised her we would come back! That I'd bring you back!
It was never on you. Remember that.
You bastard.
Even before I knew her, you were always my brother.
I can't do this. Not alone. Not alone.
You'll never be alone, brother. Trust me. Once more. Family always finds you.
No.
Approaching the edge of the warp bubble. I love you.
No!
Commander.
No!
Device is detonating.
No! No! Tarek!
Commander.
No. No.
Something's happening. I'm losing function.
I love you too, brother.
Can't end it that way.
I know. We wanted to have it at the end. I didn't make it.
Oh, man.
Gets me every time.
I feel a little nauseous.
Okay. As that finishes, Pim Pam tumbles in. You're all aboard a stabilized ship with a priority module attached. Once Lenny and Nori have the ship stabilized, gravity is reintegrated.
This is not a laughing moment.
You just can't handle him.
I think it's the emotion.
I can't.
And then see Ryan go,
You made me have to act that, dude. It's not hard to act. I'll just say.
oh my gosh.
Brian's made me listen to so much.
Dang, that
There's
was good.
points where. Okay, this is a little behind the scenes content for you guys, real quick before we get into it. Every time Ryan sends me one to check, I'm like, I gotta be ready to listen to this. This one and B's death, I was just like, I can't. Now I'm perturbed for the rest of the day. Thank you. Anyways,
Thank you.
thank you. And we did get to hear Katie's scream one more time. So yes.
Just gives me more
Yeah,
questions.
there it is. There's
I'm gonna just see if there's necromancers out there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Possibly.
No, that's
I
a
don't think
great
so.
moment. I think there's this moment of everybody.
Pim Pam is gonna like
I got
stagger up
19.
to her feet with a little click of her boot, and then hit the wall, and just slide to the floor.
Nice.
Is there gravity again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Once the ship gets stabilized,
Then it can
carefully re-engaged.
The trees will come down, disengage, rip off from the. Can they? Because
They can, unless you want to keep the priority module with you. I was assuming
we
you
have
keep
to.
it.
We have to keep it to keep the priority module. So Brick's on the other side of the wall.
He's in your tree thing that you made. In the hallway there.
Oh, he's in with us.
Yes. I had said as he was crawling on the module after it
Yes.
disengaged and the tree is wrapping around, you can see him
Oh, he
crawl
just
in as the
came
tree
in.
wraps around.
Understood.
Fire burns around him.
Got it. Okay.
But he's in the research module is what
Yes.
Nori and Lenny refitted. Because to see the explosion of the glass, you all have to be in there. And Pim Pam came tumbling in. So everybody's in the research module end of it, which is the half steampunk, half sci-fi ship, which is now attached to the research module, the priority module, which is not open right now. The door on that end is not open, but the hallway is connected, and you guys now have control of it. 19 on detection.
Yay! New dice. I had a disadvantage 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Give me just 1 second here to pull up good old hero musters encounter tool. I just got to double check their fortitude.
Holy crap.
Good?
Yeah.
It's hard to listen
It
to.
really is.
Really,
Good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm glad.
As long as we get front row seats to the movie when it comes out.
I know, seriously, right?
Exactly.
Krista will not go see it. We walked out of Batman the Dark Knight and she was like, it was so evil. I was like, well, yeah, I suppose you're right. No, it was the Dark Knight? Yeah, Dark Knight. Yeah.
Okay. Let me fix
Oh
the
my goodness.
music real quick.
Cheers.
Cheers. I'm gonna. Okay.
Now you got to start doing those for all the characters.
Yep.
You've got a new role.
I do it.
I'm at
pretty epic.
16, and I exploded on 1d6. That did not go in the box. It is a 19. Meets beats in Open Legend.
I had 18.
18? I thought you said
No,
19.
19. No, you're right.
You
You're
said
right.
19,
I had an 18 on the D20.
19 exactly.
What does that mean?
You do not sense the necromancers anymore. It looks like the explosion consumed them. And everything else.
she'll lay B down somewhere that, that she can, and she'll have the dagger from, I was going to say phallic, from the guy who killed Ballard.
Halshear.
So she has Halshear's dagger, and she's going to look at it and then kind of tuck it away, kind of thing. Like feeling like a piece is done.
Sorry, I'm just getting music.
She's tired. She's gonna collapse a little bit.
What is she at now? 7?
I'm at 4 fatigue.
4 fatigue.
6 is death.
Oh, 6 is death? I thought 9 was 6.
6 is death.
Okay.
Just a wee bit close.
Trying. So she'll sit down on the ground next to where B's lying down.
Okay. Pim Pam will slide over and give you a shoulder. It's like,
I'm glad you made it.
always.
Oh, Pim. You scare me.
You're the one that walks into death.
But you actively put yourself in danger all the time.
It's what we do for each other. It's what we do for the world.
Yes, but sometimes, Pim, it's not. Why the fuss would you get onto that necromancer's ship?
I found it in time.
Pim.
We were the only ones there.
That's the problem. We had a plan.
You might have been too late.
You could have come back to us. We could have just gone together.
And we might have been too late. It was there, and so was I.
And so
I couldn't let it get away.
And so was I. I mean, I'm in awe that we are all sitting here. I feel like Iliad, there's a slight tremble just in Iliad. Thank the dragon. We are all sitting here. I think this was how we were meant to work together, but Pim, I was there right with you. And because of that, there's something unleashed in me that has put everything that Kari did to bind the
Tormentor.
To bind the tormentor. And I can sense something has been unleashed.
Well, you set me free too. I know I haven't said it right out, but like, I'm sorry. I held that against you, and I had locked myself away from being willing to see your side of it.
Thank you.
And you got me out of there. You really did it.
You shouldn't have had to do that. In the first place, you should have came back to us. We had a plan. We had it set. You were supposed to come with us. They should have slit your throats and thrown you out of that ship. That's what should have happened. That's what would have happened. Who knows? Marosha knows what reason why they kept you guys alive. And I am so thankful that you are. But Pim, I can't trust you. I can't trust you. You go off and you do these things, and I don't know if you're going to get yourself killed, if you're going to get us killed. Pim.
Trust? Trust? Me? Oh, it's a strange way of putting it. Could have trusted me when I said the 𝓘𝓚𝓸𝓬𝓴 were an issue. When I said we should drive them out of the city and deal with them, but no, that wasn't an acceptable idea. We let them rebuild that in there because we didn't all go after them. That was left to me to clean up in your city. You let them move in. You let them rebuild that. I was the one that found that they were doing that. Me and Iliad took care of that. We were the ones that were there.
What were you going to do? What were you going to do to stop this all? Just by yourself. Kill every single one.
Yes.
Just by yourself.
You want to know what my body count is? 2 a night, at least, every night. What did you do?
Well, the roll was really low, if you remember. Anyway, carry on.
Can Brick... I don't want to interrupt. If there's more to be had there.
Oh, there's more.
Eric.
But Brick...
Well, I would say I was here for the people that mattered the most.
You let them rebuild. You didn't stop them.
I saved your sister. I saved my family. Pim, you don't know how this world works.
You haven't told me. But I've told you what they were doing and you didn't listen to me. I was out there actively trying to stop them. What were you doing?
You were doing what you wanted to do, Pim, because that is what you always do.
It's nice when what you want to do is the right thing.
Is it the right thing?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't the right thing for us, for you to take Iliad into the ship.
Well, the right thing wasn't for us to be in that kind of a feud, and we were resolving that. That's about what teamwork is. It's finding those rifts and repairing them.
You were gone, Pim.
And you weren't there. You were asleep. I hunted them down night after night after night.
That wasn't going to make a difference in the end. Brick almost died, Pim. And you weren't even there to know.
They almost made it, and you would have never seen it until they were up there in that sky. The difference is I was there trying to stop them, and you weren't.
Aurora, Pim, I can't help but I see the fire in all of our eyes. There is something that is burning. We have a reason to fight, and even more so now than we have ever before. I think these are all things that need to be drilled even deeper. But all I know is right now we need to hold fast. Focus in that fierceness and that fire. Because I have this deep feeling our mission is not complete.
It's not, but I cannot trust you to do what is best for us.
Then don't.
Then maybe you shouldn't be a part of this. I love you, Pim. I love Tiri. But I think you have a lot of growing to do before we can go any farther.
Well, says the person sitting on the module while I led the hordes away from you. That's harsh. Sounds like you trusted me then. But don't trust me now? It's contradictory.
How am I supposed to? I never know what you're going to do.
Pay attention. You'll see. Listen, and you'll hear.
No, I have watched, and I have seen, and I do not trust you based on those actions.
That's fine. You don't have to. But you disappear to places where I can't see and where I can't go, to interfere and speak to things and beings beyond my comprehension. I'm just a gnome with a sword and a trick, and I use that 100% as much as I can, any way I can. But the fact of the matter is, if I died and never came back, I don't make a difference, and it wouldn't matter whether you trusted me or not. I might have slit some of their throats, they might have slit some of ours. But in the end, you're the one that's going to call on powers from beyond the stars to stop this thing, and that doesn't matter. You just need me to find out what's going on and to let you know so you can make a good plan. But if you don't trust me to make those kind of reports...
Do you think so disgustingly of me that you think I do not care about you?
I think that your care is misplaced. I just need to do what I can do. You need to do something
what
that solves
we can.
it.
We will deal with the 𝑬reinson when we can. That was not the time.
You let them rebuild.
Pim. There's gonna be... I want Brick to... Like, he's been looking... He's just been looking out the viewport like, this whole time. And he's gonna say, Pim, and turn. How tall is Pim now?
Pretty tall. She's not gonna grow much with this, but she's about even with Quinn.
Okay, so like 5
Yeah.
ish. Okay.
Well, was.
Well,
at the time.
You know, Quinn's 5'8", 5'9".
Okay, sorry, yeah.
Like 5.
Brick will turn and he'll put a hand on Pim's shoulder. War is about hedging your bets. Not going all in unless your back's against the wall. Think the long game, long term. If you can survive one day, tomorrow you might get twice as much. And Brick is going to be trying to put on the voice and the affect of a teacher. Like he wants Pim Pam to learn what he knows. I don't have any gods. I don't have any powers. I just have blades, just like you. But we figure out how to use them. And sometimes that means knowing when to put them away and save them. Save them for when they're really needed. Because every time you fight, you risk the cost. And every time you risk the cost, you're risking not being there for when it really matters. I think you vastly underestimate where you stand here with us. Down there, gesturing to Anwen. You're worth more than trying to dish out as much as you possibly can with every breath you have. You can be calculated. There's more people that need you than you think. I've made a lot of mistakes, and I don't want you to make them too.
Gnomes make mistakes, so you don't have to. And we jump into dangers where you can't go. That's what we do. And that's our value in this. We take those chances. We make those leaps. You think that Nori, playing it safe, not taking leaps, builds this thing? No. No, he doesn't. We don't criticize him for, you might have made a rocket that could have taken other people to this place or too far. It's what we do. It's our nature. You understand that.
Yes.
There need to be people that jump. There need to be people that hold back. I am a person that jumps.
But you're putting other people in danger while you're jumping. That's not
Then
acceptable.
you need to figure out what to do.
Him.
That's what I'm doing.
No, you're telling
That's
me
what
what
I'm
not to
telling
do.
you.
But you don't have a clue what I can do.
Be a part of this team.
You don't know what that means.
You don't know what that means.
You don't know how to use what I have. It's so beneath your deific clouds.
Why
that
do you
you
think I'm
don't
like
even
that?
know.
I don't understand why you're talking like that. You sound like you're disgusted with us. Do you hate us?
No. But
Then why are you talking like that?
Because when your life is just this, you have to take your chances. If you're trying to save everyone, you can't worry about every individual person. I need to serve my
I
value
care about
where I
every
can.
single person, especially on this team.
Can Brick pull Nori into this?
Yeah, I'll only come in if you guys want me to.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's a team
No, I'm
building.
just
It's a team building.
waiting for Nori's voice. A
Let me out
tense
of
moment.
When Pim mentioned Nori, I don't want to like speak for you,
I'll go for it.
but Brick knows Nori has lost a lot, and I don't want to speak for Nori, but I would invite him into this, and just look, Pim Pam. I know I don't belong here in the most literal sense, but gnomes, they were my first family here. And I don't understand everything about them. No, I don't understand what makes them tick or what makes them choose the things that they choose. But I do understand that they jump. I know they jump. And they make decisions, and they move fast, faster than I can wrap my brain around. But
then trust that's an asset, and that we do it to help you and figure out how to direct that if you want to direct it.
that's what I'm trying to do. I know it's an asset. I know. But what I want to see is that jump isn't a jump by itself, not in isolation. It's a synergy. It's a... When you're clearing rooms, there's always someone at 12. There's always someone clearing a dark corner. Sometimes they need to make the first move, but they never do it without signaling.
And what happens when your scout signals and no one comes?
Do you have backup?
Yeah.
Then you trust the backup's going to be there.
Good. Mine was, but my signal wasn't heard. So I operated with what I had.
Him. You had me. We had a ship, and we were going to go. We had it. I get it. You had a target-rich environment, and you were right there. I get it. But I'm telling you, whatever target-rich environment you see, I think you're worth more than that. With us.
You want me to be with you. But you gotta trust. And you gotta be with me when I know what the right thing is to do.
Kid.
As if you would listen to me, their ship would have never left the ground. And if it had never left the ground, you'd have a way back home.
Him.
You would.
No.
If they never made it. If you had listened to me and you had stopped the 𝓕𝓗𝒻, they wouldn't have built that while you slept.
War is hedging your bets. That's a bad bet. If we had done that,
we would have stopped them.
No, we would probably be dead. You gotta know the cost. You gotta know the risks. You gotta know when you're in there.
And you gotta listen to your scouts.
You didn't even tell us.
I did.
No,
I've
you
warned
didn't.
you about the 𝓕𝓗𝒻 from day one.
No, that you didn't tell us. Hey, I'm jumping on this ship.
I jumped because that was when that opportunity to stop it was. If you were with me, we would have found it sooner. Stopped them sooner.
We found it. We stopped it.
You didn't. We found it. We found it.
Our team found it, Pim. We stopped it from taking off the first time.
Wasn't good enough? You didn't stop it. You didn't stop them from rebuilding it. I warned you.
I know.
The only one who came with me was Iliad. If you had been there, we could have stopped it from launching again. We found it a week before. It never would have launched.
Whenever you want.
Can Iliad use like his observant perk? Like, we're so zoned in on the moment, I think he wants to look and see what's going on outside too. And if it's going to disrupt or affect anything here.
Well, you guys are approaching. You're going to return to Unwen.
Okay. Then after that, can he look to see what... Look for a deeper like what's the word? Not motive, but he wants to really understand, you know, beyond like what everyone's presenting, beyond the face that we're all putting out. What's the deeper, what's the block that keeping the team from actually getting to, you know, the connection that we should have. I don't know if that's something that can be done with the observant, but I'm just throwing it out there.
He wants to do a lot.
Way in
I have a lot of asks.
Well, I mean, you have the access of talking to the Falcon and getting a deific
something
perspective
like that.
on the situation.
Or maybe I pull out my flute.
Yeah, I mean, you can pull whatever you want from it. Would you have something specific you'd want to ask the Falcon? You can ask him at any time for advice or input or, you know. Yeah.
Well, that's happening with Brick's resurging memories. I'm wondering if it'd be an interesting time to bring up like the initiative and the war that
Sure. Yeah. And whenever you want, Dave, you can ask the question.
Yeah, I'm still thinking.
Yep, take your time.
Pim, where I come from, there's a movement, a group called the Alethian Initiative. They are widespread, decentralized, and extremely problematic, and sometimes lethally so. Jadar's been at an unsaid war against them. But just because we know where they are, it doesn't mean we should go and eliminate them. If we did that every chance we got, all we would be doing is spending resources and risking lives, losing lives, to try to balance force numbers. That's not how you win a war. You win a war by knowing the objective. What's the goal? What's your enemy's goal? Let them funnel resources. Let them try to get what they want to get. How you win is you know that beforehand. And you put your resources where they're going to count. Not brute force. Pim, I don't want to lose you. I've watched you grow up. And I know you're a gnome, and I know you are Tiri's daughter. But if I had my pick, I want you on my team. I don't just want you on my side. And that's gonna mean learning to trust and learning when to hold back. Because when you move, you don't move for just you. You move for the team.
For family. Nori's gonna speak up. Look, I don't want to get in the middle of anything here. I just, I've been around too long. He looks at Pim Pam when he says that. But, Well, someone's got his eye on me. Anyway. We're part of the stream. It ain't just about jumping. Every jump's tactical. And, you know when it's time. But if you're put somewhere. You're put with someone. You're meant to see it out. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys. There's something bigger going on here. I mean, that's all I know. Pim, for what it's worth, Lenny and I had our eyes on things. Weren't the only one watching. And, it's never as simple as the minions. Never as simple. If there's one thing I can say, it's when it's your time, it's important. It's a lock key on a story.
Don't waste it.
And if there's one thing I can tell you, because I've been around too long, it's not as simple as you just get to choose. There are things bigger than us that can take you before it's too soon. Sorry, you got me all emotional here now. Anyway. Sorry, didn't mean to butt in. I just...
The horizon are cancer. And you can't just chop it off on the edges. You need to go to the source. That's what we're here for. We're here to chop off the source. To carve it out. And let our world heal. And we can only do that together. And if we're going to do that together, we need to be able to trust each other and appreciate each other.
My trust and appreciation is pretty boundless. But for all the talk of calling your strategic battles and cutting them out at the source, you still can't let it grow. It's excuses for failing. That's what happened. It should never have got off the ground.
Iliad wants to ask, reached out to the dragon for a picture.
The falcon.
Yeah. What did I say?
Dragon. Same thing.
I was worried I said pelican.
From the dragon.
Dude, if he can talk to this dragon the whole time, I'm gonna be so mad.
So, funny thing.
Just gonna up and leave.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Carry on.
Dragon, falcon. Falcon serves the dragon. Okay. Wants to ask the falcon to give him a vision. A picture of the team and the functioning parts. This is asking a lot, Dan, but...
Go for it.
He's looking for just a vision. And then he wants to, through his flute, be able to cast that vision to the team to be able to see how everything fits together. And he knows this is not going to like instantly heal things, but he just wants to place this vision into the team heads as a seed that will eventually produce like fruit.
Okay.
Should I roll? Or?
Yeah, let's roll your influence. That's fun.
Okay.
If a
Oh, I've got
simple
two
seed
D20s.
Gets just what it needs. Then a red
that's an
tree
oldie.
can grow up to 100.
Yeah, influence. Remember, you're at 3d8.
You totally
3d8.
Do I?
3d8. Yeah.
Perfect.
You got a nat 1.
That's okay. That's okay.
Oh, and I exploded. Okay. So 6, 8, 16. Come on, another. Nope, 17.
Okay.
It's not a very strong vision.
Well, it's more. No. The vision's fine.
Okay.
It's that there's an uncertainty even from the Falcon. So I was using it as a gauge how much the Falcon feels, because this. Playing your flute. There's dancing. It's almost like a fiery dancing image as Iliad plays his flute. Just quietly off to the side, there's this dancing fire image of all the exploits that you guys have done, seeing the fighting at the ship and the taking off of each of the ships, going to the glass, all of this stuff. And underneath it is this darker, boiling heat, as if water is boiling. And these little dancing figures that are fighting, you can kind of see you guys in the fiery dancing figures specifically. You can recognize your kind of profile silhouette, if you will, and your moves. And there's just floods of things coming up, all these people coming up and fighting with you, and you're striking down, fighting with, but there's what seems an unending supply that keeps feeding it deep down, deep underneath. But what it is unclear. There's something that feeds, that no matter how many times you strike down a foe, there will be more, an unending supply of enemies coming from something deep within, and that sense of boiling water until water starts steaming and the whole image gets poofed away in smoke.
Do we all see that, or is that?
I think it's happening. Like Iliad goes off in a corner and he's kind of like humming and playing to himself. Also, almost goes into a trance while you guys are having that end of the conversation there. And this starts playing to the point where you guys stop talking. You know, when you were listening to me, it's that idea that you start watching this thing.
How close are we to Onwin now?
Pretty close.
Pretty close.
Yep.
Is it daylight, or is it like nighttime?
Yeah, I like the idea that it's morning as you guys are landing. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be landing near where Nori's house is in that mountain home. He has a receiving area for that.
Nice.
It kind of has to, once it gets into atmosphere. Maybe with that dance, I think, with the fire dance, the whole ship starts heating up as it enters atmosphere. And then a bunch of kind of parachute type things come as it slowly settles in. And there's a brief moment where, I don't know if you remember the one villager guy.
Yeah.
Puts his head off and just puts his hat back on and walks away. He doesn't want to know what Nori's doing. I think it's William, if I remember
I think so.
William.
That sounds right.
Just shakes his head, walks away. Guys land on Onwin.
Does the door open?
Sure.
I feel like the door opened, and Iliad, when he went off to play, is kind of standing near where that door opens. And as it opens, the sun starts beaming in. Here we haven't seen daylight. Well,
The sun is rising quite literally.
Yeah,
We're at
yeah. And
dawn.
so Iliad's figure is just kind of black against the morning sun. and he's just gonna slowly set his flute, tuck it in his cloak. Steps to the side with his left leg and his quad just says, "Friends, the morning's here. There's more to be done."
I'm just basking in it.
That's all I got.
That was beautiful.
I'm writing it down. Friends.
Do you want to say anything, Quinn?
No.
This has been another fantastical episode of Bomb Squad, an Avenue Studios production. Do give us a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to follow the adventure. You can further support us and become a part of the ever-growing forest known as Avenue Studios by joining our locals and Patreon community. Doing so not only helps us continue to create high-quality content, but you also gain access to bonus content as well as our private Discord where you can chat with us, play games, watch movies, and so much more. Don't forget to check the links in the description below for the sound, music, and ambience that we use. And thank you so very much for joining the adventure. We will see you next time. Bye.
Quinn, no. No.